Jai Shri Ram. This is a GRE AVA issue prompt. The word issue means an essay because that's the word they want to use. So, this is an essay writing topic. In this age of intensive media coverage, it is no longer possible for a society to regard any woman or man as a hero. Why? The reputation of anyone who is subjected to media scrutiny will eventually be diminished. Okay. So, this is part of the analytical writing assessment. So, you are expected to analyze the topic, which means that you apply some critical thinking and you are free to agree or disagree. And actually, the instruction is that you are required to what extent are you willing to agree with this? That's the instruction. Well, now I'm going to start my response. Okay, I'll give you some ideas. Just listen to it and then you can form your own ideas. As usual, you must have a crisp introduction where you take a position. And all these essay writing topics are debatable. They're all moot topics. M-O-O-T. Moot is a word which means debatable. Moot also means irrelevant. Moot means no point in debating. So moot is a funny word. So if something is becoming moot, that means there's no point discussing that anymore. We should only be bothered about what we should do now. So moot can be used to imply irrelevant and no point in debating. And the other meaning of moot is debatable. A moot issue is unsettled, so debatable. Now remember, all GRE essay topics are moot topics in the sense that they are debatable. You can agree or disagree, but my instruction is never fully agree or fully disagree with anything because all of them have their own pros and cons. Now, if you look at this topic itself, before I go ahead with my introduction, I'll just give you a few points. Now, this statement implies that because of media scrutiny, anyone's reputation will eventually be diminished. Now, in saying so, the speaker is assuming that any human being will have some negative or negatives which, when subjected to media scrutiny, will damage his reputation and therefore, the reputation will diminish. Now, in this, there is an extremely cynical assumption. The cynical assumption is that there won't be anybody who in spite of media scrutiny, may not suffer from such damage to his reputation, and on the contrary, perhaps his reputation will get enhanced. Well, I do concede that such people would be very few and far between. Most of the people perhaps would get exposed and the smoke screen or the facade that they build will get toned down. F-A-C-A-D-E. Facade means a false front. So very often we come across so many news stories where politicians and leaders of industry, they build up a great reputation and they hire many spin doctors. Spin doctors are people who are publicity experts who post articles about this person in magazines and TV and YouTube, and they build up a wonderful reputation and a halo is created. And a halo effect is also created, which means because one or two things are good about a person, people tend to form an opinion that this person is such a wonderful person and everything about him is worthy of respect. But we all know, as human beings, we all have our own foibles. F-O-I-B-L-E. A foible is a minor shortcoming, minor failing. Unfortunately, many people have not just foibles, they have many vices. V-I-C-E. Vice is an evil, degrading quality. But, politicians do a lot of astroturfing. Now, astroturfing is a jargon in politics, which means photo op, a situation is created and the politician puts himself in the middle of the situation with a script and it gets captured on film, and the footage will be very useful to create a positive image for the politician. So the optics will sound so very good, and the politician gets a lot of political mileage from such a kind of footage. Now, but unfortunately, as we all know, Satyameva Jayate, truth alone triumphs, and if not today, someday the truth will come out and the reputations get damaged. We have seen innumerable world leaders who somehow managed to create an appealing image for themselves, but over time, all the skeletons in the cupboard will roll out and they stand exposed, and that is how great heroes fall. So here anyway, the topic is, or the speaker of the topic is assuming that everyone has a negative side which over time gets exposed. What if you are interviewing, or we are subjecting a really great person, a true statesman, like for example our Prime Minister Modi ji. He is a selfless karma yogi. I might sound like a Modi bhakt, I don't care. I am. So he is a man who has no family, and there is no nepotism, no favoritism. Well, he is a politician, he is a great statesman, the world respects him. Now you subject him to any amount of media scrutiny, you will only find things to admire and eulogize, but not anything to malign his reputation. So such people are always there. So the problem with this issue topic is the assumption, or the cynical assumption, the cynical presumption that all people will be such that media scrutiny will cause their reputation to get diminished eventually over time. But, well, this could be true with most people, but not with all. The statement, this issue prompt, this issue topic sounds and seems like a sweeping generalization, and therefore it is not acceptable. I do agree, most people might be like this, but when you say that all are like this, that's where the problem lies. Now you will write 2-3 paragraphs about such great people. You can mention Jesus Christ, okay? And you can wax eloquent on Jesus and his great qualities and how he taught people to love your neighbor, love thy neighbor. He did not say convert everyone or kill anyone. He did not say that. So you can write about Abraham Lincoln. You can write about our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. You can write about any such examples. There are many from different academies. Albert Einstein, for example. So he was a great man, truly great man. So, of course, people try to cast aspersions on him, but that doesn't matter. Nothing has diminished. On the contrary, the reputation of such people goes on getting enhanced. So you can write about this. And one paragraph you will agree, you see, and you will also mention that the speaker makes a sweeping generalization and therefore it is not acceptable. If the speaker had said most people's reputation, then it would have been a more acceptable statement. So your conclusion should be a summary of what I just said. The speaker takes an extreme position, makes a hasty generalization, and states that every human, every woman or man is likely to face this situation. And there lies the rub. There lies the rub, R-U-B. That's an idiomatic expression of saying that there lies the problem. And then you will say that not all can be considered to be. Well, it might be a safe bet to say that most people are like this, because most people are hypocrites. They build up a very nice, appealing image, but behind that image, the person is different. They wear several masks, and media scrutiny will strip off all those masks, and one day they stand exposed. Therefore, our advice to young people is be an authentic person. Do not be a hypocrite. Do not say one thing and do another thing. Never promise if you can't deliver. And in fact, never promise but deliver. And always exceed expectations. Right? So these are some simple principles a truly professional kind of person in any field would adhere to. Right? I think I've said enough. You should write a good essay. Jai Shri Ram.